There is a lot of humor around you, a lot of humor and playfulness. What role does that play in your life and in the life in general?
Oh. I think it's essential. I always say we have 6 senses, and the 7th one might be humor. No, it's essential. Anyway, this life is very playful. So if you look all around nature, everything is very playful. And I see once we start diving inside, we start to meet some aspect of ourselves that will better have a little sense of humor. Tendency to seriousness, I see it just frees everything. We're not very much flowing anymore, and we get stuck very quickly. So I feel is the best way to de-arm. I don't know what you said. Yeah, the whole system, to not take things too seriously, or even not take them too seriously at all. And the playfulness, I feel, is an inborn quality of everyone. Little children, they all have it. They tend to lose it by and by because of whatever, the setting or the education. It's quite suppressed. I feel it's part of the joy of life, of being alive. And it's part, I feel, later on, when you start putting back the energy inward, it's a good key for underpass. It keeps everything light. It keeps the inner celebration more and more bright. And anyway, as far as I can see for myself, it's quite a piece of joke when you come in. It's quite a big laugh to start to see all the stupidity that we're doing. And the stupidity that might come out of a certain ignorance is possible, but to be able to laugh at your own stupidity, I think, is super important. So where it comes from, I don't know. I think, like I say, it's inborn quality. And personally, I have been gifted of a twin sister that from the start, it was just joy and laughter. So let's say I grew up with quite a setting around me of a lot of laughter. Some other stuff maybe not so nice, but capacity to laugh already very early. And this has not been suppressed. Some other stuff, but this one. And I do share it a lot with people in retreat, to open it up to stop taking the rigidity of mind too serious.
How to find, let's say, recently I was in a situation which felt serious in the moment, how to find that capacity to laugh when it's not there?
If you look deeply, you can only laugh. Sounds too simple.
Yeah.
No, I have seen this for myself, because I laugh a lot, but I have also my moment where I can be very serious. But each time, if I look deep into that seriousness, or why I'm serious about a certain topic or about a certain situation, it doesn't make sense. Especially to see that each time this moment of seriousness, it just cuts everything, it closes everything. The receptivity, the fluidity, the openness, the intelligence get even broke down. Some people, maybe they're going to think that seriousness is intelligence business, but it is not. So when you are in a situation that can give you the cramp, it's a cramp seriousness. It's a cramp of the mind, it's a cramp, I feel, it's a cramp of the ego. The cramp, it cannot swallow the situation, it cannot give it space. So it starts with a whole process of putting up a judgment, putting up the defense mechanism we did speak already about. And this is very serious story, suddenly. Like, ooh, it's almost like a matter of life and death. And there, if you look, then you realize it is not a matter of life and death. It's a small thing. So also, sometimes I do like this. I try to put things in a bigger perspective. Me, my little me, that is a little a piece of dust, and not even, I think, is far more smaller than a piece of dust compared to the universe. And me making a whole life and death drama. Really. It looks so ridiculous. And the other point I feel where we really need to look at is that through that seriousness you become blind. You can't look deep in, and you can't look at it. It's like there is a veil of blindness coming up that filters everything, and becomes very difficult to have a sense of clarity over a situation. It's quite a tension, seriousness. And we would like to have a point of calmness that can look over a situation. So when you catch yourself like cramping, actually, if you cramp and you have a good laugh, you will see the belly goes like that, and it's over. So maybe one thing in this cramping, looking back also at the body, to say, okay, I don't build up tension in the body. I don't build tension in the breathing. Few things like this, it already start to shift. So that the seriousness doesn't start attacking the body. If you keep a relaxed body, relaxed breathing, it's less hooking the seriousness. And after it is a matter of observing more and more, observing what you gain out of this seriousness. Seriously, is not so much power you gain. Power over somebody, maybe power over the situation, but what is this power about? So if you look clearly into it, you realize that the seriousness doesn't lead you so much deep.
It's also good to have friends around that laugh and that help you laugh and even physically remove you from the situation.
Yeah, it's very important. Good friend that doesn't take you serious when you are serious. Depending your level of seriousness, usually it doesn't go very good, but still it's important.
Because when we start developing that capacity, first you can laugh at simpler things, and then you go a bit more, and then you laugh at a bit more bigger things. Like this capacity is growing, and friends can support you increase that capacity.
Definitely. Humor gets refined, it needs to mature. And you can end up with a humor extremely, extremely refined. And to me, when it gets refined is when you start laughing at yourself. And not this stupid laughter, surface thing, deep inside. Looking at all your games that are how funny actually it is. And how silly, because you see that those games, they just motivate suffering. So if you can laugh at that, you crumble down the whole system. A good laugh can pull down the whole building. It's a kind of inner earthquake, like, and then it's finished.
Could you say the difference between humor and sarcasm?
A sarcasm, I say, is still a play of the mind. It's still in the mind. It's a different strategy, different trick. It's very defensive, sarcasm. So it's still part of strategy of defense, of mind, of ego. Humor is not there. The refined humor that it comes with this center. Now, in the center of the heart, you have such a different perception of existence, and you have this clear connection of the play. It's a play. It's a play. The plants growing, the animals, the birds, the stars, the human relation, life in itself. It's a play. And I know some people, it's like it's cliche to say because they don't feel it. If you feel it, it's very clear that it's a play. It's a creative play. Creative, destructive, creative. It keeps on going that way. And sarcasm is very serious. It's very, very serious.
And also see quite a refined level of sarcasm where it can almost look like it's humor, but there is something you feel is not...
It's very bitter. It always carries the bitterness of judgment, sarcasm. And yes, I have seen people very highly developed on that level, and you see is also people highly developed mind, even a lot of culture or things like this, and they can juggle, you say, with words. But they are very protected. They're not reachable. They keep in their bubble. They keep in this defense mechanism. They don't receive. So easy to play like that, but you don't meet with people like this.
And now you said we can use any energy for our growth. Mm-hmm. How can we use the energy of sarcasm? Let's say a person has this quality of, not quality, it's habit of using sarcasm. How can that help that person? How can we use it?
It's always, sorry, this is going to be boring, those postcards, because I have a feeling I always repeat the same. It's always about going inside. So if you have a tendency like this, penetrate it. Go fully inside. And so enter it completely. So the same thing I've been many times explaining, tracking back that energy to the source. That person might be quite surprised. That it's a kind of a manipulation inside, and might be that this person entering this sarcasm energy slowly bring back the energy to the source here. It is, you could say, it's humor that has gone in a weird way. It's a humor that has been manipulated by mind. So you use humor as a defense. So if the person has this tendency, fine, track back, go back at the source. And that sarcasm all around the humor can finally crumble, and you can get back to a very joyful, connecting humor, not sarcasm. So everything short you can move. So sarcasm, you could say, it still use the ego mechanism. Fine. Go deeper, and get back. For me, it's like a perfume humor. It's joyful perfume. Mm-hmm. Possible.
Can we talk about creativity related to humor? Also, humor requires creativity, or there is a lot of creativity in humor, but creativity in general.
Creativity in general. But general is a little bit tricky. Maybe one aspect I always like to look in creativity is the aspect of destruction. In my education is the art school. Before that, nothing entered so much my brain. So art school has been very, very important. And I did observe a lot, okay, when you have to create what truly happened. And I do remember one thing very important for me. The day I realized, like, you have a white paper and you want to start drawing, for example, staying on that white paper for a long time on that, and put just one dot and realize, oh, I have destroyed the whiteness. And then I realized, oh, it seems like that every act of creation starts with destruction first. And it was not easy to place it inside myself, this kind of thing. It kind of even refusing to see it. But by and by I saw. And you have a process that destroys something in order something else comes. And I know people, they prefer to use the word, oh, you transform. Maybe they are afraid of destruction. And so I prefer to use the word destruction. You destroy something in order to bring something else. And if you look at it in process of nature, you see it everywhere. A seed needs to break apart. I mean, it's quite... so every form they destroy, transform for the one who prefer. And like this, it goes on and it goes on and goes. It's a constant process like this. And I guess inside, for you have also this system on some level. You know, how we construct ourselves, we have in a way to destroy one part and then construct. And ultimately, at the end, you demolish everything. This is very interesting, how it works. But creativity, I feel, whatsoever level of creativity we want to look at, because now I give that example of more artistic, but I feel creativity is how you put life energy in motion. For me, it's very creative to clean my house. So any energy that gets stagnant, put it in motion, and suddenly something very creative happens. It's very creative to clean your house. You beautify, move this, move that. It's always this process of also honoring life and give it a beautiful movement. Creativity, it has also this aspect, at least for me, it has always a connection to beauty and harmony. And in daily life, to have this flow, I find it quite important. How you bring beauty is also a tricky one, because I feel beauty is always there. So how through your creativity you make it seen, you make it that you can see it. Mm-hmm. Inside the same, we have beauty inside. I make it shine. That's a process of creativity. Mm-hmm. And in daily life, you can have it constantly. Recently, I surprised myself cleaning my dishes and putting them. What about it's beautiful for the eyes that they dry, not just put it like this and done. No. What about each time is a kind of piece of art? A small thing for your eyes for a moment before you put everything back in the cupboard. All this kind of little action that constantly connect you to a sense of beauty, to make beauty appear in your daily life, and then you can bring it in relation, how you speak, what you exchange in this or in the touch or everywhere. And beauty, harmony is so connected. So you have the creative, the beauty, the harmony. There is a whole package coming with it. Not being afraid of the destruction aspect. Destruction, I know, is a heavy word, and I know for many minds it's because people, they don't have a good relationship with creativity, so for sure they don't have good relationship with destruction. If you look around in nature, I mean, there's a lot. In order to reshape things, you need this process of destruction. And sure, it needs to be balanced. And because there is not good relationship, everything gets excessive, or you excessive in destruction. So this we like to see how we flow beautifully in it.
This summer I had an experience through art where I felt this destruction of beauty, and there was so much pain, like it's pain to destroy it. And then realizing that there was no trust that there will come even more beauty. Like, how do we learn to see beauty? Like, even recently I heard from a very beautiful woman that she didn't think that she's beautiful. Like, she did not have the eyes to see her own beauty.
Yeah.
How do we learn to see beauty?
It's gonna be quite difficult for me to answer because I don't even understand how people, they don't see. There I have a little maybe trouble to help people because I don't get it. I try to understand, listen, I just don't get it. How is it possible? So I have a little hard time there because I feel if you relax a little bit in yourself, relax a little bit in your body, just relax with the phenomenon of breathing, it is there. Maybe people, they try to look at it too far away, way too far. And also maybe they have connected beauty to a social picture. A picture you can see in movie, it's an ID then. It's just an ID, beauty. While beauty with big B, it's not an ID.
We have the whole society built on especially women making themselves beautiful and then going into distorted images.
Yeah, women making themselves beautiful, it's important. It's part of their nature. Just now we have to look, it's beauty that fits the whole society, or is a beauty part of the feminine that shows out. It's just in her nature. A woman is like, it's part of her nature. It gets distorted by a lot of social picture, rules, conditioning. And these women, all women, they need to look at it. Men too. Because men also, they demand this to women. Men also have a distorted view of women, not connected to their deep feeling of beauty. It's such a deep feeling. You need to be connected to sense this. So it asks for all men, women to start looking why I would fit a picture, try to adjust to a picture that actually I have actually no connection with.
You may even think you have a connection because everyone else says that is the connection. So how do we come back to the natural feeling, sensing of beauty, expressing beauty in a natural way?
But you just said nature. Nature here, not nature there. Nature here. This nature. Get in your body. Not looking in the mirror, even my body, like that. No, close your eyes. Enough. Shut it down, this one, and go inside. Go in this body. Feel it. Feel all the sensation. Move. Dance. Dance. Swim. you get connected immediately the beauty of nature of this body, and then you have less this attachment on the outer picture, what should fit outside. You start having that it start coming from inside, and then you can put the clothes you feel like, if you want makeup, if you want this, whatever you want, that gonna express this inner beauty. It's completely different, but the way is to get in there and to feel at home. Yeah, this body, anyway, you get it for your whole life. You're not going to go to a shop and exchange it for another one. Even you can redo this, redo that. Anyway, it's not going to change so much. So you have it. It's your home for this life. Amen. Be at home in this home. And the relaxation, the joy of being there, the sense of the nature that is in there brings immediately the sense of beauty. And from there, observe nature. This nature here, this nature outside, it is all connected. It meets constantly. It's very easy. I don't believe the crap. I give many women school. I hear things that are, many times I'm just like, I don't believe this thing, this drama of women towards beauty, my beauty. I don't believe in it. I try all the time. I'm quite very sharp with women on that level. Stop the crap. I'm not beautiful enough. I should improve this and I should that. And men, they don't find me beautiful. This is such you hypnotize yourself with a narrative. And I know you can bring it back and your childhood and papa, mama. Even this, I'm like, how long you want to believe and how long you want to give food to this. I feel it's a game. It's a game putting women in such a victim, and I have a huge allergy with victim system. And I feel for everyone, there is a moment you have to be sharp with yourself. Very sharp to say, okay, this is enough. Nobody is a victim. And I feel this whole thing, I'm ugly, I'm not beautiful, is just in the mind. Nobody is ugly. Nobody. So the ugliness is just a projection of mind that has decided beauty is like this, beauty is like that, a woman should have a small nose, like me. And so if you believing the soup over there, that makes you quite a victim. Your whole life trying to adjust to a picture of so-called beauty, which I found it ugly, because it's not connected to your nature, is extremely distorted, especially nowadays. Now I'm gonna attack a bit, keep it calm, especially nowadays putting women in this box, beauty should be sexy. This one is so dangerous, and so putting women down to a level of a sex object all the time, and many women, they believe in it. They play the game, they make so much effort, and they destroying their beauty actually, because it's excessive. Women have a sexy side, with everybody. But again, you go like excess. Let's put out only this one. And the rest, we put it, I don't know, in the pocket where we put it. So we suppress it. So you have women completely out of balance. Out of balance, it's very difficult to bring out beauty, and it's very difficult to relax and to feel good here. So this excess that has been put out in our society, women sexy all the time. You can be sexy all the time, even when you sleep, even you have to be sexy. It's like hilarious to think about. You see women in such a tension, such trying to fit this and thinking that yes, they're gonna attract a man and a good relation. You should question a little bit. If you attract a man from that level, don't expect the man to see you different way. The man gonna be attracted only by that sexy side and will ask from you only this. He will relate with you as a sex object. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, it's tiring. You can't keep it up. So how you do, at some point, it's going to be quite troublesome. And it also keeps the man in a certain type of energy. Also keep the man in an excess. So what I see is any time you have imbalance, you have excess of energy here, excess of energy, you are like this all the time. You have relations that also are of balance, everything. And if it's to find beauty in there, it gets not easy. So get back in the nature of the body, take down the picture. Maybe, I don't know, lock yourself in the dark for some time. You had that experience you shared with me.
Exactly.
So you don't see. You only can touch, you can only feel. You don't even have somebody mirroring anything. Then you will get a different sense of this home and its beauty. It's nature. You can come out in the world in a quite different way. There's many more aspects we could look on, but for now. I don't even remember what was the question.
We started with beauty and creativity.
Yeah, I was creativity. I again went too far. Okay.
But I feel this about what we talked about is also very much related to the lack of self-love, that it's like an epidemic of lack of self-love.
I knew it, you will pop up with this one, and I try as much as possible not to see it. Because...
what is self-love?
This is why I don't use this one.
Okay, what do you use instead?
I use get back to your nature, get back to nature, get back to nature. Get back to nature because it's just natural, this self-love. So get back to nature, and it is then everywhere. And I do understand this expression. I do understand from which angle people they bring it. I really sincerely understand. I just try to not use it because maybe I didn't move this way. I never moved this way. I grew up in nature and sitting in a tree, feeling the leaves, the wind, everything. I found myself a piece of art. I found myself extremely beautiful. Without thinking, I'm part of nature. You can say something in nature is not beautiful. So I know it's not maybe the privilege of everyone. Some they grow up in a different setting. So we have to use maybe a different language. Maybe for some people it's not easy to move this way, to say, oh, go back to nature. When they live in city, they don't even know what nature is about. So So we use another way, a self-love. I don't know why this one always gives me crap. How can there be even a self-love? It's the word self that gives me a little cramp. But okay, let's try. Let's try what it is. I love myself. I really have trouble with this one.
Maybe it's peeling off the layers that cover this love. Self-criticism, self-judgment, things like that cover up the natural love inside.
Yes. I will shop it a bit different way. I will get back to this expression, to this direction of going in the body, where everything starts relaxing and where you move out of the center of the mind to this center, body. From this body center, enter the center of the heart. From there, enter the center of consciousness. And from there, I will put it even this center, it's still the body. You enter the physical body, you enter the body of the heart, you enter the body of consciousness. It's all the same. It's a body. It's just you enter deeper in. For that, you take yourself away from all those different ideas of mind that speak even about self-love. Oh, you have to love yourself first before loving somebody. I don't believe this crap. I don't believe this crap. Especially if you have not received so much love around you. How are you going to find it for yourself? Where you didn't even get the feeling of this love around you. So, but it's maybe another corner to look at. For now, let's continue this one. All these different ideas in the mind, how I should be like this, self-criticism, all this blah, 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 blah. Move out towards the body. It's not far. Not speaking, go to the moon. It's here. You don't even have to make a 1 centimeter move, just in breath. You are here. And feel it. And feel it. And sincerely, it is there. Love is nature. This is why I don't like this self-love, though I do understand the angle. It's nature. If you feel a bit the body, you have no other choice than feeling love. This body is made out of love. So why you would look so far away? So anyhow, get back down there. Now I do understand some people have a hard time to make this move. Especially if they have been living in an environment where they didn't get even anything towards their body. A good cuddle from mama. You know, if you've been beaten up your childhood all the time and said to that person, oh, just go to your body. No, it's going to be very painful. So we have different situations. Some people, maybe first, they need other bodies. Many bodies around them. Cuddling, embracing, kissing, singing to you a lullaby, a caress. First, they need to start a little bit with input outside, so that it start to revive this love in the body. When body is too protected because it has been somewhere damaged in some childhood environment that you had to protect, to shrink, to tense all the time, it's very hard at first to say, oh, I go into my body and I feel love. No. So you will need to heal this connection to the body. And this is not by self-love. It's by a lot of love coming from outside. from very good people that just embrace you, that just makes you, that heal your own connection to your body, your connection to the nature of the body, and in this nature of the body, you need love. So this is why the self-love, you see, I have a bit, some cramp around this one.
But in our society, we are so far away from this kind of behavior. Like even friends meeting together, it feels almost strange to say, okay, let's just meet and cuddle.
Get a cat, get a dog, get a horse, get a whole zoo if it's needed. Start somewhere. Don't have an excuse. Start at least somewhere. Go inside the tree, not even hugging a tree. Climb the branches and just stay there. Sit there and feel all the leaves, the coming. Trees are incredible. So if there is no possibility at first to have people, start with nature. Start with nature. Go in the river and feel this water. It's pure nature love coming in that restore. And from there, intuition is a big guide also that you find. There are many people out there. We don't live just in a world of monsters. Huh? There are a lot. It's just a matter of guiding yourself in the right place. Mm-hmm. You know, I put it that people, they don't feel, oh, I'm a victim, I can't, I have no possibility. It's not true. It's not true.
I think it's also interesting if you could talk about, like, sometimes we feel that it takes a very long time. How to change this mindset to think that, no, it does not take a long time. You can actually shift this into your own perception of yourself quite quickly.
How much time it takes to feel your body? I think it's not even a second.
The challenge is that, okay, I'm sitting here, I'm breathing, I'm feeling calm and loving, and then you go out into the world. Let's say on the street someone crosses you, almost, turning you over, and then you lose that. Like, depending on the situation, the more intense the situation, the more difficult it is to feel that.
Yeah, okay. If you view it this way, I understand. Something needs to grow inside. And what needs to grow is, I get back to that example, where do we center ourselves? And most of the time we center ourselves in mind. And small mind, not big mind, the small, that is very mechanical. And that moves in protection, in projection, the whole circus that we all know. And so you have a setting where finally you relax more towards your body, you relax more towards your heart, you allow your energy field to be open, you're all receptive, everything is all nice. Go in the street, like you mentioned, and whatever passing by that trigger again your mind, upla, back in that setting. So it takes maybe time, it is true, to have your anchor, your pool of energy that stays in this center. So you have a back and forth for some time. And there you need a good sense of humor. That's where it starts. You catch yourself like, again, like in this cramp. Your awareness grows also at the same time. You can have a good laugh, and this brings you back to openness. When you have more and more awareness on those little moments, and that you don't condemn those moments. Nothing, I was again in my mind. Fine. Can't you just have a good laugh and start noticing? So what we would like also at some point, that you have awareness also when you go in the mind and awareness when you go out. We start looking this movement. What is this movement about? So it could not started to condemn even this. Is to use everything to grow your awareness, basically. And it will make you understand a bit better also how mind mechanism, all, because you also need to get there and observe this function. What it is that pull you back there, what it is that brings you back here. Start this dance peacefully. And there is another aspect, like when you start opening up, you have an aspect of sensitivity that comes up. And this is a passage, can be short or long in people. Many people have a hard time to handle it. They become so extremely sensitive, and they thinking they can't function properly in the world. So already here we have a trouble. Who has created this division? I hear many people, here in the retreat, but what about when I go to real life? And I always giggle. I say, okay, in the retreat it's not real life then. What is this? Another life. Is another life, and over there is a real life. So this division. So if I'm fully open, is a certain life or a certain setting, but out there is another life and I can't be open. So this one, I really wish people they get awareness there, that why you would divide all this and why you will not keep your sensitivity in the so-called other world, where I feel you need it the most, this sensitivity over there. Because with this sensitivity you get also very sharp. You can sense things also from far. You can avoid so many danger, actually. You become very sharp. And if you keep that sensitivity, I've been many times playing like this. And I remember at some point gave that practice to people at the end of a retreat, where always this question pops up. Oh, how can I do in my real life? I say, fine. When you go out now, imagine for a moment, you go out, it's a temple. Whoever you meet, whatever you meet, all the objects, it's all a statue in a temple. Yeah, the car is nice. People, all gods and goddesses. Sounds a bit extreme and so-called impossible, but it's not true. So in a retreat or special setting where you're all open, all sensitive, you lift up yourself in a capacity of connecting from heart, connecting from sensitivity, connecting a lot from intuition, by the way. Apply it in your daily life, in whatever you're setting. It's going to make you relate with the setting in a completely different way. And you will see that actually your sensitivity there is not against you. The thing is that, do you want to feel this world? And people, they just want to feel nice, good thing. This is why in a group, it's nice, all these beautiful people, hallelujah. They don't want to feel the beggar.
Exactly. We close because we are afraid of pain. So we have to have a different relationship to pain. What is pain?
We have to have a different relationship to what we have created in this world. Is more people, they don't want to take responsibility. When you go out in the world and you see and the pollution and the poor there and whatever so-called that you don't want to feel, and you dare to feel it, you see, you take responsibility. You don't say anymore, oh, is the politician who created this, or is this one, or is this one. You're going to see we do it all together, and me, even me, I'm responsible for that. So I'm going to start to take new action. I'm gonna start to relate quite different. I'm gonna start to have a bit more empathy. Like it's very easy to go out in the world, and I cut myself off because I don't want to feel, because so-called is too painful. Feel this pain, feel it, and take a responsibility. And I feel as a human society, we should all start waking up, take responsibility for everything we generate. And you might say, even me, I could say, oh, more conscious and more this, and oh yes, I don't buy plastic, I don't do this, I don't do that, I don't generate some. It's true, I take more responsibility, but still, I still have a car, I still have many things. So I still participate, maybe less directly than some persons that are very direct in the suffering, but I'm still in it. So if everyone start to feel the pain, start to feel the suffering, start to feel the destruction,
the war inside.
But also outside to really feel it. A destruction that is going extreme, not the destruction I was speaking that motivate creation. When you have excess of destruction, hopefully we are not that far and it will go back into balance. I'm very optimistic, I also think it's possible. But so, back to these people, all open, and I go out and I'm too sensitive, I can't feel this. Make yourself more sensitive, even more and even more. There is a moment in that sensitivity you get grounded. You don't get like if you feel and you collapse. You get grounded because you really see we all connected. We can't keep on the separation, and you get stronger. You get strong in your energy, you get strong in here, in the heart. Not the poetic, romantic bullshit stuff. Strong here, it's very, very powerful. It's extremely strong, powerful. From here, you can navigate this world with such a power, because also here, what grows is not just love, it's awareness, it's consciousness. All this is one package. You can't just say, oh, I grow love. That's, for the mind, you can do this in the mind if you want. No. Back here, many things grows together because they are completely together. Love, the consciousness, the awareness, this is all a big concentration of energy. And with this, you can navigate this world. This world, anyway, is made of it. So you can navigate. You're going to have a strong sensitivity, and you're going to know how to meet, to interact very clearly with it. Not with pity, not with all this crap. Not with guilt, because I know why people, they don't want to feel the beggar in the street. They feel guilty on some level also. So not with this crap.
Right.
Then you have something else coming up, of action, of creativity coming up. Connection, especially, very strong. So it asks a little courage to see, I go out with this sensitivity and I keep it bright and even stretch it a little bit more. Stay open. It's just my little inner mantra. There is no valid reason to close down. Somewhere there is no valid reason to not to love in a way. And if you look deep in it and take time to look, and cut the crap, because you're going to have many. It's a thousand of reasons gonna pop up. Shut that down. This one, fine, let it go. This one, let it go. You're gonna come to some more and more strong. Let it go, and you realize at the bottom of it all, there is not a single valid reason. Which means there is not a single valid reason to close down. It is not a single valid reason to create conflict. Inside, outside. And so stay open and feel this world. All of it. Not selecting, not with your preferences. Oh, but yeah, it's easy to feel here. Now you see in which context we are. You should feel the context. But it's very easy. Nothing disturbing. You can relax. When I look at the black chairs, it starts already, and I'm like, something goes, whatever, where they come from. I feel it all with a bright heart. Only then there is enough creativity to start moving this world, and if you don't say the world, at least your life, moving it into balance, into weaving with nature instead of going against. And I'm not on mission, let's all change the world. I don't, let's, your life, can you take care of your life first? And seeing that your life is not in a bubble, your life is connected to this life, to this one, this plant, this cat, this whatever. So then you cannot just live my little life, ego-centered, no, it's not possible. So this is why I encourage, please stay open. Then you generate your life connected with others. You weave together in harmony. And if by and by everyone start having more understanding and more awareness of this inner move, I guess a lot of changes can happen.